Keeping it real, who that sports pod, legendary coach Rock. Go 17. Let's rock. Who that? Boss kick. Black and gold. Let's go. First and goal from the one. Best believe we go punch. Punching in, get them punch. With them Saints, watch us march. Down the field, down your throat. Keeping it real, who that sports. Breaking news, interviews. Open lines just for you. Call in, join in. Who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat. Sit back, relax. Put your feet up. Grab a drink and dang it, let's talk Saints football. Breaking news, breaking news. I know you heard it. Some of you right now, you're doing cartwheels. You're doing flips. You're so excited. Derek Carr, unfortunately, for that young man, his football playing career is over. Who that nation, though a lot of you are celebrating. Not only was his Mother's Day tomorrow, but Mother's Day has turned Saturday before Mother's Day has turned into the day that Who That Nation can rejoice. They just didn't like this man. He just didn't match with the fan base. But with that being said, though, man, we wish Derek Carr the best in his endeavors after football. When you grow up playing a game that you love for your entire life, I'm certainly that this is not the way he wanted to go out due to injury. But Derek Carr has announced his retirement. And for those of you who didn't see it, here it is right here, courtesy of the New Orleans Saints website. Upon reflection of prayer and in discussion with Heather, I've decided to retire from the National Football League. For more than 11 years, we have been incredibly blessed, and we are forever grateful and humbled by this experience. It's difficult to find the right words to express our thanks to all the teammates, coaches, management, ownership, team officials, and especially the fans who made this journey so special. Your unwavering support has meant the world to us, Derek Carr. So Derek Carr announces his retirement from the National Football League, which leads me to believe, and reports are that he had gotten word that he would have to have surgery, and he just didn't want to go. I guess he didn't want to go through the long rehab, having the surgery, then having to rehab, and having to come back next year. So Derek Carr has decided to call it quits. So, Coach, what's your thoughts on Derek Carr retiring?
First of all, man, I don't know. I'm sitting in the car talking to you, but my thing is, I think his time was up in New Orleans, man. It was never the right fit, I don't think, for him. It was Dennis Allen, boy, and it just never meshed in New Orleans, man. And I think that played a lot into it too. But my question moving forward, how does that money count against the cap now?
Well, that money is that money. The money that he got, he still has.
That dead money? Is that money dead, or it just comes off the book completely with him retiring?
No, it doesn't. Even because the money's there. It's still there. Even when Malcolm Jenkins and Drew Brees retired, that money was still on the books. That matter of fact, I believe Drew's money and Malcolm's money, that money came off, I believe, this season or comes off next year. So, but there are reports that the Saints may be trying to recoup some money, so some way. But right now, I don't have all the parameters on that right now. I have to reach out to some sources and do some research on that. If anybody in the chat knows, let us know if the Saints will recoup any money back.
Do they go in a battle with the three they have, or do they look to try to sign a veteran just to come in just in case?
I'm going with my young quarterback. I'm still signing a veteran because I just don't think Jake Hayner's in their plans. I'm definitely signing a veteran quarterback. Listen, the best one out there right now is formerly with the Eagles, man. Carson Wentz.
Okay.
I mean, you can. Maybe they bring Carson Wentz in, or maybe they just swing with what they got. Maybe he likes his run. So we'll see. But now we know that it'll be a quarterback battle.
Yeah.
There'll be these kids. They won't be having to look over their shoulders now. Now they know, hey, Rattler, Shuck, it's on you guys. Head-to-head battle. And listen, Jake Hayner's still on this team, so I'm gonna throw Jake in there. And we go see what happens, man. But everything right now is heavily favored on Tyler Shuck because he is handpicked by head coach Kellen Moore. But does that mean that Rattler or Jake don't have an opportunity? I would say no. But again, reason I'm saying that if you're a new head coach, I understand Tyler's your guy. But if you go through the all season, you go through training camps, mini camps, preseason games, and everybody in the building sees that your handpicked guy is not it has been outperformed by Spencer Rattler or Jake Hayner. Hey, what you gonna do? You got the are you gonna try to save face? You gonna lose your team before your season even start. Those guys know who the guy is. They know who's been performing, who's been on top in that battle. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. Hey, training camp's going to be exciting now. It's going to be. It already was going to be, but now officially we know it's a total new era of Saint football, man. Here you go. 2 young quarterbacks with the opportunity of a lifetime. This is all about competition. This is all about competing. Mano, mano, who's going to win? I'm going to push you. You go push me. Every day you're going out there trying to not trying. You have to give it your absolute best. You have to be on each and every day, but you got to take it from the practice field and bring it into the games. That's going to be the thing. A lot of guys, and that's been the problem with Jake Hayner. He's been a great practice player, but he hasn't been able to transfer that performance into an actual game. We will see. Again, Spencer Rattler had flashes last year. He showed potential. And don't forget, again, Tom Pelissero, NFL Network, said there are many NFL executives around the league who believe Spencer Rattler would be a starting quarterback in the National Football League. So the Saints have a good problem right now. We don't know what Tyler is. We like his measurements. We like his moxie. We like that the kid can make every throw on the football field. The kid's him and Spencer, they're very highly underrated with their athleticism. They are not just sitting in the pocket quarterbacks. They can escape out the pocket and get yak yards and get chunk yards. And Spencer actually demonstrated it a little last year at times. But excited to see that. We got everybody in the chat, man. Let's see what we got. Jerry says, a lovely day. Derek Carr is finally gone, so Jerry's ecstatic. Booker's in the house. Tedra says, no more Carr. Trail 504 says, who that to you, Trail? Hurricane Mike says, we're free. Kevin Bernardo says, who that to you, Calvin? Thank you for being here. All right. Booker says, it wouldn't surprise me if he returns to play for another team next year. I mean, that's a possibility, man. If he has the surgery, rehabs, and wants to come back next year. But if he does try to come back to play for a team next year, he's still in the contract the Saints. So that a trade compensation, all that'll have to be worked out. And again, you're not officially retired till you sign those papers too. Let's see. Steel Bill says, who that Steel Bill? Thank you for being here. All right, thank you, Ted. 15 million this year and 35 million hit next year. So yeah, that money, coach, the contract is a contract, even though he's retiring. So we get 15 million this year hit. Thank you, Tedra, and 35 million hit next year. So that money's still gonna be there. Jerry says it better not be arrogant. Aaron Rodgers, the veteran to bring it. I think everyone wants to play for a contender right now. Shout out to our brother Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, our brother Cowboy. They can go to the table and negotiate a restructure or a buyout settlement. Okay. Thank you for that, Cowboy. Tedra says 13 million hit this season. My bad. We get back 30 million to Saints. Okay, so why are we getting everyone saying we getting money back just because he's retiring? When you sign the contract.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I was asking that. That's what I thought, bro. Some kind of way you get some money back, because it's not like you kept the contract, bro. It'd be some stipulations in them contract. Like if you retirement, you know what I'm saying? Like something come back to the organization, bro. It's not like you fulfill your obligation to that contract.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I was asking. That was my first question. I know there's a lot of litigation and all that kind of stuff, but I thought when you retire, it's not, it's not like you kept your word that I'm gonna be here 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like
Right.
you walking away. So it's like, well, basically you taking money, you didn't complete your whole 4 years. So it's like something you negotiate back. That's why I was asking.
Okay.
But I know there's a lot of litigation in them contracts and verbal use and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was trying to understand.
Right. Let me see. Go and look and see if Nick may. I know a lot of people. Maybe Nick Underhill and touched on it
Because
about.
like if I tell you I'm paying you to do something for 4 years for me, and you decide to say, hey, well, I don't want to do it no more. Well, somewhere in there, you didn't have, we came to agreement and we signed on the dotted line that you're gonna do this for 4 years. So some kind of way in there, you give me something back. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't pay you. I paid you for the 4 years. So now you retiring. You didn't even stay the whole 4.
Okay, so Nick is reporting. Nick reported an hour ago that Carr was trying to get back on the field, but he decided against having another surgery, so he decided to retire. Nick says the Saints will recoup the money from this offseason's restructure. So the Saints get the money back that they
Okay.
for the
Okay.
restructure,
Yeah.
and
That's what I was. Yeah.
they'll get cap relief.
Yeah.
So we had 27 million space with him retiring. That saves us 30 million. So let me go to matter of fact, let me go to over the cap right now.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. But I know some kind of way, some kind of money should have came back.
Because he didn't fulfill. Okay.
He didn't. That's like you don't fulfill your promise, and what you say you're gonna do.
Okay. Let's see. Let me go on over the cap, see if they've updated it. All right. So over the cap right now is showing that the Saints have 27. Still, team has 27 million, and this doesn't count their record. They still count their record in there. So let's look at his contract. Will he recoup this year? So see, he was supposed to be next year. Actually, supposed to be his last year. So this year, he what? His salary cap charge was 20,462,000. He got the 40 million payout. So
Something should come back.
yeah.
Something,
That what
something
Nick
coming
was
back.
saying. They
Something
getting
coming
something
back.
back. So yeah, they got to get something back from this
That's what I thought.
contract.
That's why I asked you that. I kind of thought that something got to come back.
Okay. Yeah, because his base salary this year, uh, remember they brought it down to the minimum, but they gave him all that money up front. His cap number 12 million. No, I'm looking at last year. I'm sorry. Yeah, they got so let me see. 25. So prorated signing bonus, they gave him basically 20 million, no roster bonus. He was guaranteed 1.225 this year. His cap number was 20. All right. So since see what else? I just No, Nick be on it, man. Nick. All right, so here we go. This was Nick. Let's break down what Nick said. All right, 18 minutes ago, Nick says, well, excuse me, Mike Triplett. Mike says the Saints will still owe Derek Carr $10 million from his fully guaranteed roster bonus. But, and here's the big one, Coach, that you were saying, but they will not owe him his $30 million salary that was previously guaranteed for injury only. Okay. That brings his total to 2 years and $70 million in both cash paid and eventual total cap charges. And it would be his retirement would be filed after June 1st, which lets the team split the cap hit, so the sides are clearly in accord on all this, and there's been cooperation on all sides despite speculation. Okay, so Mike, there you go, Coach. $10 million from his fully. They only owe him $10 million from his fully guaranteed roster bonus, and they will not owe him $30 million. So the Saints say $30 million with Derek Carr retiring. We lost Coach. Coach will be back in a minute. Let's see, new comments. Yes, he's still under contract, but he's retired now. So and I guess they're going to designate him with that June 1st. And I guess you can almost like a June 1st cut. Let's see. So I'm on now. Hold on, give me 1 second. So let's go back, look at this over the cap, fam. Let's look at that June the 1st. All right, dead money and cap savings cut pre-June. So the dead money hit would have been $80 million. Let's say if he would have retired and they would have just decided to cut him. All right. Cap savings, they'd be on the hook for they've been in the red for over him almost $60 million, right at $59 million. Because that's your dead money, right? Dead money and cap savings pre-June 1st. Okay, so what's your thoughts, family? I mean, listen, I'm about to open up the lines, family, let y'all come in. Hey, this is the deal. A lot of you have been waiting for. It is here. Derek Carr is no longer a member of the New Orleans Saints. And listen, like him or not, man, again, like I stated earlier, this is a sport that has been great to this young man. He grew up his whole life playing football, and I'm certain this is not the way he wanted to go out of the National Football League. But, the writing was kind of on the wall. But the thing that is, I'm glad to see that the team and him have been working behind closed doors to work this out. So there was a reason the Saints went out. I kept saying, and as the draft process was going on, that this was the most that I can remember the Saints ever evaluating quarterbacks. They were heavily involved in evaluating quarterbacks in this draft process. And of course, they reach out, they bring in Tyler Shough, and now Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener get the battle for supremacy as the new face, the leader of the New Orleans Saints as the quarterback who will lead his troops in 2025. Now, win totals, expectations, of course, go way down. Again, Coach and me, we don't make that prediction this early. We have to see exactly what's it going to be, how the team is formed. Now, listen, this team can change from now until the beginning of the season. So a lot of things can happen from now until the beginning of the season. But as this team is constructed right now, we're going to have a young player under center. Would it be the hand-chosen Tyler Shough, or will it be second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler, who has playing experience from playing last year And at times in games, I mean, he looked good. And then there, of course, there were times when he looked like a rookie quarterback. So I think we got, and I really like Tyler Shuck. I told you guys when I saw him at the Senior Bowl, I thought he was one of those players, quarterbacks people were sleeping on. Hey, we got him here in the building now. He's a New Orleans Saint. Like you, I'm going to be dialed in when training camp starts. The mandatory mini camp when you got the vets coming in, and now everybody's going to be like, when that mandatory mini camp comes, everybody's going to want to know. And it may not mean nothing to the coaching staff because they may just be trying to see things, but for us, the perception is going to be who's going to take the snaps with the first team offense in the mandatory minicamp. And bam, it's going to go wild. Oh, Shuck. They put Tyler Shuck took first team reps. Spencer took second team reps, or vice versa. That's how it's going to go on. All right, we got Tedro coming on. What up, T?
What's up, man? Man, I love that he retired, bro. I love it. I'm happy as hell right now.
I got you. Hey, and then, man, the Saints recouping money, put it in a better cap situation, man.
And now these three quarterbacks get to work it out, and we get to know who it is. Oh, man, I'm happy as hell today, man.
Man, I am so.
Carr is out the pitch.
Well, bro, you kind of saw the handwriting was on the wall, bro. From all the miscommunication that was going, he was quiet for a long time, and then last week he comes out when he's at that church event, and he starts kind of trying to save face. I guess you can say, for a better word, and of course, again, like I said, separate football from the personal life that him and his wife went through. And again, we wish them nothing but the best going forward. But from the Saints side and football side, man, I think he just didn't fit in with the culture. He just wasn't like you guys heard me call him. I still think I called the man, he was a lover scorn. That's how he acted. Remember, his first season, all he talked about where at the other place I was, we did this there, we did that there. The man was a lover scorn. I never thought he got over being released from the Raiders. But
right.
Well, yeah. What else you got, man? I mean, listen, Mother's Day is tomorrow, and right now, I don't know. Today just became a holiday for a lot of Saint fans who just didn't like Derek Carr. And not only, but think about this: you don't like him, but the way he's going out by retiring and working with the team, saving the team money, putting them in a better situation, man. So hey, it is what it is, man. So man,
I respect him.
Why do you think it just didn't work? Because when Derek Carr was signed, man, in the NFC South, like it still looked upon, was a winnable division. Many felt it was he had a ready-made team ready to make a push to the playoffs. All he had to do was come in and guide the ship. What do you think that things went wrong with Derek Carr as the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints?
He just happened to be mediocre.
Okay.
I mean, he's good sometimes and he's bad sometimes, and it wasn't enough.
Right. So in his Saints career, he threw 40 touchdowns and only 13 interceptions.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm gonna just say that. So Spencer and Tyler, say what we want about him. Now we all remember that horrible ass pick he threw against the Falcons that returned for a touchdown. In the aftermath of that, but one thing he did do, he did protect the football. He didn't turn the damn ball over. Now with with these two young quarterbacks, we gonna have to not so much with Spencer because you kind of got baptism of fire last year. So our patience with you with turnovers, brother, is going to be real short. Real short. Any quarterback, I don't care if you're a rookie or not. The most important thing is on the field is that football. You have to protect that ball when you're on that field. Who's that? Hurricane Mike's joining us now. Mike, come on in.
But this is why I think they all will be okay with that. We fixed the O-line.
Yes. Yeah.
They will have more time to throw the ball. We will run the ball a little bit more. And we got the receivers back that can catch the ball. When Rattler was on the field, they missed his catches, which put him in bad third downs and fourth down. So he'll be good then. He'll have time to throw the ball.
Shout out to my nephew, no cap, no filter, Saint Marley G. Marley G. Look like the rental spoons pick looking more valuable. Loomis, I told y'all start tripping. I got this. I got you. Hey, he's Derek Carr. For those breaking news, Derek Carr's 11-year career is over. He has decided to walk away from the National Football League. It would be made official. Papers will be filed on June the 1st. Again, the Saints still owe Derek Carr $10 million from his fully guaranteed roster bonus from this season. But this is courtesy of New Orleans Football's Mike Triplett. But the Saints will not owe him the $30 million that was previously guaranteed for injury only. Okay, so he was getting $30 million whether injured or not. But because since he's retiring and not having surgery, not rehabbing, not coming back, that $30 million will not be paid out by the New Orleans Saints. Thus, they recoup $30 million, if I'm understanding that right, and I believe I am. And I'm constantly looking for updates from Mike and Nick. But yeah, Mike, what's your thoughts?
All right. So this morning, right?
The man can't stop smiling, boy. I tell you.
Yeah, this morning, obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, Derek Carr retired after 11 seasons. Some good seasons, some bad seasons. Look, I feel like some Saints fans were a little bit harsher on Derek Carr because, for those that think Derek Carr is the worst quarterback of all time for the Saints, stop it, bro. He's not even close to the worst quarterback. Yeah, he may be the quarterback that probably had the biggest fall off, or the guy that disappointed us the most, but he's definitely not the worst quarterback. Derek Carr, what his problem was consistency, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But where it's he can throw, for example, this season, right? Week 1 against the Panthers, 3 touchdowns. But then he plays against Atlanta, or was it? No, yeah, I think it was Atlanta where he didn't throw a touchdown, or I don't know. There was a couple games where he didn't throw touchdowns. So it's he never could build up consistency. So I feel like this retirement kind of leads. I think both sides needed to part ways here. It's the Saints, they were not getting any value from Derek Carr. And Derek Carr was not getting any value by playing his last couple years with the Saints. When the Saints signed him after he got cut by the Raiders, his big goal was, in my opinion, okay, let me go shut the Raiders up and let me go prove to them why I could be a successful quarterback. Because that's why he kept talking about the Raiders. Every single press conferences, he was talking about, how the Raiders breakup hurt me. So I think his big intention was, okay, let me go shut the Raider fans up that didn't like me. Let me go shut the Raiders up. And then that, I think, just all got to his head to where that was his main purpose. Because that's why, and he didn't really embrace the city, Super Bowl weekend, where was he? When we hired Kellen Moore, where was he? When the Saints were making all these free agent signings, where was he? When the Saints made the draft picks, where was he? He just was nowhere to be found in the city. To a point where I'm being dead serious. I thought he may have died. I'm being dead serious when I said that. Because I didn't hear nothing from him.
Well,
you usually don't see that.
Well, of course, like he reported, he was dealing with family issues outside of football, and So that's totally understandable there. But
Yeah.
like you said, he just didn't embrace the city, and like the saying that we always say, love the city will love you back. He never, in my opinion, gave the city an opportunity to embrace him, because he never, to me, totally put himself out there to be embraced by the city. T Mac 901 said, I don't care what you say, he was a cancer.
He was.
You think about him coming in press conference and not being accountable. Oh, like, that's on me, but we all, no, that's just you, the leader. You take all the praise when it's good. You take all the heat when it's bad as the leader. Of course, the Shaheed situation, showing him up on the field. Hell, having him and Eric McCoy blow up so much. Eric McCoy wanted to go at him. Again, I think he came here like as a love of scorn, and like kind of like you said, Mike, he was trying to prove something. Hey, the Raiders made a mistake, but I still think the man it was a culture shock. Hey, you go from the Raiders, man. You go from West Coast and you come to the South, man. It's a total culture shock. So Derek Carr never ever allowed himself to feel the true love of the city, of the Who Dat Nation, in my opinion. You had all those Raiders fans who were coming in everyone's DMs or everyone's podcast and saying how great Derek Carr was, and for all that they said, Derek Carr was not a winner with the Raiders. Derek Carr was not a winner with the New Orleans Saints. Didn't win a game. Could not even make the playoffs as the quarterback. Now, what kind of what you said though, Mike? I'm fair with them. I was fair with the man. There were times I was on here arguing with people because y'all was saying how it was all on Derek Carr, or he would have had a good game, but y'all still was saying that it was Derek Carr. No, It's not on Carr. It's on everybody. It's on the other ones. The supporting cast. He down the offensive line blocking. But again, it just didn't work. Now we got Uncle Jerry about to tap in. Jerry, how you doing?
I'm feeling good, dog. I'm feeling good. How you doing?
Doing good. Hold on, Jerry. Hey, everybody. I'm about to bring on my brother, a member of the Come On In Sports Network and host of Come On In Bills, to get his perspective. My brother, Mr. Lawrence Foster. Lawrence, how you doing? Come on in.
What's going on, Doll? Congratulations on Derek Carr retirement and his career with the Saints.
How you doing, Lawrence?
Oh, good, man.
Today's a beautiful day, baby.
I'm not a Saints fan, so I'm doing all right.
What up, Mikey?
What's up,
oh, man. What's up? Jamaica, how you doing? Come on in. What's up, Jamaica? Thank you for being here. But yeah,
yes,
all right. And I think having Lawrence here is a good, it's good Who That is good family. Lawrence, as a non-Who That, a non-Saint fan who doesn't have his emotions until this team, watching Derek Carr far as a member of the New Orleans Saints, and also you go back to his time as a Raider. What do you think Derek Carr was as a quarterback? Was he a underachiever? Was he a average quarterback or a above average quarterback?
I think it's a classic case of you don't have a top tier quarterback or you don't have a bottom one, so they kind of have to overpay to keep somebody that's not bottom of the barrel, which to me is the worst spot to be in professional football, because you need to have look at the AFC. The best quarterbacks in the planet are playing there and fighting each other. Carr was an average to above average quarterback, but he got paid like he was more than that, and he never elevated his team to anything more than what people being paid as much as he was have to be able to elevate the team around him and bring them to new levels. And you're seeing it like with Carr, you see it with Tua. Like they can't elevate people and bring their team to the next level, but they're getting paid so much money to it's that quarterback purgatory, so to speak.
Right.
For Saints fans, for their sake, I wish this had been known before the start of free agency, because maybe they would have done something different. Maybe they would have done something during the draft, anything different. But as a non-Saints fan, I feel for the Saints fans, but I know a lot of Saints fans are also very happy, as you can see from you guys' smiles and all that this morning.
Yeah, I mean, and it's something that you said about what makes a good to great to elite quarterback is able to make those around him better, elevate the team. That's something that Derek Carr didn't do when he's a member of the Raiders, and it's something he didn't do here with the New Orleans Saints. Again, like I said earlier, when Derek Carr was signed here, Lawrence, the Saints had a ready-to-go team to the playoffs. All they need him to come in here and was steer the ship. Now, not to be dismissive. Now, there were a lot of injuries. Now he lost Michael Tom. He lost a lot of players.
Yeah.
All right. Now injuries have, but when you're that dude, when you're that guy, you'll still find a way to get it done. NFC South, you should have won the division at least one time. You should have had at least been in contention one time. Remember, when Derek Carr was signed to the Saints, he was viewed as the top quarterback in the NFC South. Mm-hmm. The other quarterbacks were Baker Mayfield, who, by the way, has turned out to be the man right now. He's the uno best quarterback in the NFC South. I love y'all. If y'all want to hate on that, that's y'all problem. You know, get out your damn feelings. Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback right now in the NFC South. Now, flipping it back to us, like Lawrence, I think they did know that something was up, because the way that they were scouting quarterbacks in this most recent draft process, they never did before. They were so heavily involved in these quarterback pro days, private workouts with quarterbacks. Man, they actually, I believe, scouted at least maybe 8 to 9 quarterbacks. So I'm sure they had an inkling what was going on, what was the probability that he might not be back. And Tyler Shuck is handpicked now. He's handpicked by Kellen Moore. So right now, he's in the driver's seat. But right under him is last year's backup quarterback, Spencer Rattler, who went out there and showed flashes. I mean, he had a couple games where his halves of football would just had you sitting back, and they had us like, damn, we might have something here.
Yeah.
And again, like I say, Tom Pelissero of NFL Network reported that there are many executives around the league believe that Spencer Rattler would be a starter in this league. So now with Derek Carr out the way, now you have the battle between these young quarterbacks. They get to come, they get to compete. We get to sit back and just watch this poetry be painted, family. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so
I was thinking more veteran, like that. Who's the veteran in the room?
That's what Coach was saying. So Coach was like, "Oh, do we pick up a veteran? The best veteran out there on the market now is Carson Wentz to me. I mean, you could do. I call Carson Wentz. Mm-hmm. You know, as the veteran, get him in the room. You have him, Spencer, Jake Hayner, and Tyler Shuck. So I'm sure they're on the phones now trying to Tiff should say Hayner's a veteran. Let's stop it. So and listen, now Dennis Allen's gone, Derek Carr's gone. Is Jake Hayner the father? Because let's be serious, Who That Nation. We all feel and know that last season there was no way in hell Jake Hayner should have been the backup quarterback when everybody saw from practices, preseason games that Spencer Rattler outperformed him and won the job. But we know what that was. I'm so glad this is the end of the Dennis Allen era. Get all that out the building, man. Let's focus now on Kellen Moore. Let's see what Kellen Moore and his staff can do because it's a new era of football.
Yes, sir.
Jerry, go ahead. Give us your thoughts, Jerry. Give us your thoughts.
Right. Look, I was sitting, dude. First of all, how you doing, dog?
I'm doing good, my brother. I'm doing good.
On the real, I was looking at.
We lost you, Jerry.
Yeah, we lost Jerry.
Come back in, Jerry. We lost you.
Jerry's very happy though, Dolph.
Yeah, he's very happy. Cowboy hater herder says this should tell you more about the Saints' outlook on Shedeur and their pass on him. Hey, he wasn't the kind of quarterback that they wanted. Jay, you got to go back and look at the kind of quarterbacks that Kellen Moore's worked with. That look, he's in Cleveland. This is Saints business. I wish him the best, but it's all about Rattler, Shuck, Hayner, and the veteran that they bring in. Let's see.
I would wonder if Kellen Moore would have went after like Cooper Rush, who he got to play well in Dallas. That would be a veteran that would have been great to come if we would have known early enough about that. That's those types of moves.
Oh my God! And like in the preseason, and that's the thing. If they would have knew about it in time, because when free agency started, me and Coach was talking, and we did a podcast, and I was like, man, Cooper Rush. And me and Coach was on it. I was like, man, I would love Cooper Rush. And what hit me was I kind of got those Sean Payton Tony Romo feel.
Yeah.
Because when Sean Payton first came to New Orleans, fans, for those of you who don't know, he was trying to bring Tony Romo with him as his quarterback, but then Cowboys head coach Bill Parcells blocked him from doing that. So he was unable to do that. Thus, rain fell down from heaven and Drew Brees felt in Tower Labs because the doctors in Miami said that it was a no-go with his shoulder to go with Dante Culpepper, and we got Drew Brees, and we got the best era of Saints football ever. Bad Boy said, should we have drafted a vet rookie quarterback? Junior Badass said, Rattler win the competition and be the starting QB. All right, here we go, baby. Listen, it's all going to be on the field. It's going to be done on the field. Big Sean PD, how you doing? Come on in. Sean said, honestly, the best free agent QB is Aaron Rodgers. Man, if ever going to Pittsburgh. If he don't retire, he going to Pittsburgh. Just listen to him. Like he said, he ain't worrying about what everybody's saying. The team that need to know, they know what's going on.
Yeah.
So why you think Pittsburgh really is just chilling, man? I mean, listen, they did draft Will Howard, and personally, if Rodgers doesn't go there, I think with seasoning and getting in there, getting that playbook rep, I think Will Howard could beat out Rudolph.
And his style of play Steelers fans would love that. The way Will Howard
he'll fit. No, this 506, do you think the new Pope is a Saints fan? He's from Chi-Town, baby. He's a Bears fan. Though he got that Creole blood in him, baby. He got that Creole blood in him. Now we don't need Aaron. We don't need Aaron Rodgers, man. And think about it. If you Aaron Rodgers, fam, and you do come back, you want to come to a team that's in the midst of a rebuild. And now, family, it is official. It is official. The New Orleans Saints are in a full-fledged, it's not a mini rebuild. We are in a full-fledged rebuild. For all of you who have been screaming for it, asking for it, wanting it, it is here. Embrace it. And I'm saying that to say during the season, if we're 0-8, 1-7, 2-6, don't bring your ass on here whining and crying and talk about the moves we should have made. No, you got to go through this, baby. You got to lay that foundation. You got to, right now, we done picked out the land. Now we got to cultivate the land. Then next we got to pour the foundation. Then we got to start building the frame. Then we got to fill it in, and we're going to go from there. But again, big day. Go ahead, Lawrence.
But that's where your fan base and your owner need to make sure they're patient doing that.
Yes, patient.
Owners get way too trigger happy now of like, oh my, we got to have a quick turnaround. Not everybody's going to do what the Commanders do or what the Texans do. Like, generally, the rebuild is a year or two to build up the foundation, like you said, and then you make your move. But owners aren't patient enough to do that now. So, and for your sake, I hope one of the two quarterback, if they actually have an open quarterback competition, that one of those two like kind of takes an early big lead.
Right.
Because they all need as many reps as they can. If they're splitting reps all the way through training camp, that's not good for whoever ends up winning the battle because they spent half the whole summer only getting half the reps.
Yeah,
I'm a Saints fan. I don't care who it is. I either Radler or Shaw. I want one of them to just show out and be like, right, that's our quarterback, and then they start getting starting quarterback reps as early as possible.
Right. I think they most definitely have to have it before the second preseason game. I think he has to make listen. Either it's gonna be Radler, it's gonna be Shuck, and that, like you said, that young quarterback get as many reps with the ones as possible. You know, so I'm definitely on board with that. Blair McDonald, Blair, how you doing? Come on in. Thank you for being here. Says I think Rattler was dealt a bad hand last year. I'm in agreement with you, but as I was saying last year, family, when they came to Spencer Rattler last year, I was watching those games, and I wasn't watching just to watch. I was mainly watching the way that this young man carried himself, how he held him, how he acquitted himself when on the football field, how his teammates reacted to him. He had full command of that team when he was out there. He's a leader. And what I noticed and I'm talking about from his first game, that game against Tampa. Remember, they fell down 17-0. They came all the way back and tied that game. You had the Rashid Shaheed punt return. Then you had Rattler in the left end in the corner to Bud Means. Everybody, we talk about big body receivers. Young Bud Means, 6'2", 215 pounds. Don't forget about Bud Means. He showed flashes last year. So, but in those games, in that game in the second half against the Commanders, the way that he orchestrated that comeback and damn near won the game. Remember, the ball just went over to Juwan Johnson's hand, or the Saints would have pulled that upset. So the kid definitely has something about him. He definitely knows and feels like, hey, I belong here. I am a starting quarterback in this league. And I stated before we even got to this process as far as bringing in Tyler Shuck, I felt like a young quarterback already was on the roster in him. But again, you got to bring in competition because competition is going to make them better. Listen, so like I said, all the throws that they throw today at minicamp and tomorrow, now they have escalated 1,000 times. Come mandatory minicamp, like I said at the beginning of the stream, people are going to want to know, Dolph, who got the first team rep? Who's going to walk out there when all the ones where the vets are in the building, and then who's going to walk out there with the first string offense? Everyone's going to want to know that, and guess what? It's going to be blowed up either way. For those who are going to be supporting Rattler, if it's not him, that's a travesty. It's not right. He doesn't have a chance. We see how this going. For Tyler Shuck fans, they're going to be like, yeah, he's the man. He was hand chosen for this reason. So it's going to go like that the entire season. But then it's going to go to training camp. You're going to get more extensive reports. And most importantly, those open practices. Dog, we will be at open practice this season too. For those open practices, every throw is going to be magnified. Everybody, man, neither one of those kids can make a bad pass. I mean, they can, but from a fan base standpoint, every bad throw, he overthrew him. Oh, it's too short. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Look at the ball placement. It's terrible. Man, he sucked. That's what you're going to have. Mm-hmm. That's what you're going to have. But my thing is this. Y'all know what DOLPH says on opening day. It don't matter who it is. whoever goes out on that field in that black and gold and that Florida Lee on side of his helmet, that's who I'm rocking with. And one thing I would not do, I would not pull, no matter who out, if I had a favorite, and I don't. If I had a favorite, the one thing I would not do, guys, I would not do is sit and wish for one of them young men to fail. Instead of doing that, how about this? How about we have 2 young quarterbacks capable of starting for NFL franchises in the National Football League? How about that? And then guess what that does? That means other teams around the league will come a knocking. And
that happened with the Falcons back in the day with Matt Shaw backing up Michael Vick.
Yep.
And then the Commanders drafted RG3 and Cousins in the same draft. And that turned out all right either way.
Yep. It did. Young City Night War, how you doing? Come on in. Tedra says, I believe we will be better than people think in this rebuild. Listen, like I stated before in recent podcast, family, why not us? Why not us? The last 2 seasons, Houston and Washington. But what did both of those teams have in common? They hit, new coach, but they hit at quarterback with 2 young, outstanding quarterbacks. Now, C.J. Stroud had a sophomore slump last year. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all know how I felt about C.J. Stroud. But they still made it to the divisional round for the 2nd straight year. In his first 2 seasons, he's had his team 1 game away from the conference championship. That's something to be said. Then
that's with his receivers getting decimated every year.
And receivers getting decimated. Then you go to last year, nation's capital, Jaden Daniels. What boy you gonna say? Just special. Not only did he surpass what Stroud did in his 2 years in 1 year, he took them all the way to the NFC Championship game. New coach, new quarterback. They got the right quarterback. Let's hope the Saints have the right 2 quarterbacks. That's all I'm saying. Because if you have the right quarterback, things can change. And now look,
there were 65 or 67 starters last year. You need to have a good backup. So you Saints fans should want both quarterbacks to be playing well. Because the odds are they're both going to play.
Right. And my thing is this. Fam, let me ask y'all this. And that's a great segue to this is a great segue. Thank you, Lawrence, for that. What if, let's just say Tyler Shuck does start. Who would you want as your backup? Jake Hayner or Spencer Rattler? Everybody put in the chat right now. I kind of know where it's going to go for sane people. But listen, no slight at Jake. Jake just didn't handle his business. We heard all last year. We done heard ever since Jake's been here. What he does in practice. He looks good, but he doesn't translate into the game. If it doesn't translate to the game, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm over those camp stories, man. Like last year, Mason Tipton, a young wide receiver, he's tan camp up the first 2 weeks, hurts his hamstring, doesn't play the rest of the season, makes the team, and had his opportunity on Monday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs and absolutely fumbled the ball. Blew it. Did not take advantage. Again, it doesn't matter. And I want y'all to understand when I say this, because it's proven. It doesn't matter how you come into the National Football League. Because guess what? All those first-round picks who are walking into these camps this week and going to be walking into a training camp, they're going to be walking in the training camp with undrafted free agents.
Yep.
And guess what? It don't matter if you're a first round. It matters by the opportunities you go get. Because if you're an undrafted free agent, you damn sure ain't gonna get the same opportunities to impress the coaches as the higher draft pick, those who was drafted. So when you do get your opportunity, you got to make those coaches and start saying number 49. Start saying, hold on, that's 49. Hold on, that's false. No, instead of 49, oh, that's Foster. And you saw Foster again today? Ain't no fault. Then Foster start getting with what? More reps. You see what I'm saying? That's how that works. Take a vet. Make them see you. Make them see you. That's what it's about. And unfortunately, some players last year did not do that. Again, I'm high on Bud Means. I'm high on Bud Means. I understand. Now, and Lawrence, I'm glad you're here. There's a wide receiver that was let go in Jacksonville who I love to have in New Orleans. And I'm talking about, I don't know what happened. I think it's because it's a new coaching regime. But Lawrence, just in case, give us Who That Nation here your thoughts from watching Gabe Davis when he was with your Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be what you think, Dolphin. I'm going to do this comment.
All right, hey, give us the truth then.
Fans, every NFL fan knows what he did in the 13-second, the 4-touchdown, 200-yard game. Mm-hmm. But Gabe Davis was plagued with drops at the most inopportune times as a Bills fan. So that's something. But if it's what you expect out of him, he's not a number 2. He's a good deep threat. He's a go-getter in the run. Like, he's a great run blocker. He's a great locker room guy, but everyone expected him. That playoff game was probably the worst thing that happened to him expectation-wise. All right, everyone expects that all the time. It's not realistic.
Right.
So the Jaguars signed him like he's a number 2, and then injuries, and 10 games later, he's already gone after 1 year. I would love the Bills to bring him back. And for the Saints, he'd be a great addition to that wide receiver.
Got you.
But I do have to dug out. I just want to come in and say,
appreciate
your thoughts on Carr and Saints fans. I know you're gonna be partying like it's Mardi Gras all over again.
Oh yes, Lawrence. We having fun right now, baby. Let's go.
I know Jerry G's already tipping them back. He's ready to roll today.
Oh yeah. Hey, Lawrence, look, real talk. And I'm back. Thank you for having me back, Dolph. Sorry, I was getting ready to give my reaction, but I was on the phone with my dad, so I had to share the news with him, even though he's a Steeler fan, but he stay over in Louisiana. So
right,
I had to share the news with him. So, but now back to what I was saying, because I was in the middle of watching Ross Jackson on Locked On Saints. Shout out to Ross. He was doing his premiere of the training of the rookie mini camp that's gonna happen in the next hour. And somebody in the comments there just saying something about Carr retiring. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. And then somebody else say Carr announced his retirement. I said, wait a minute, is this legit? Is this for real? And then I had to look it up, and then somebody say Nick Underhill. Shout out to Nick Underhill. He put out an article, and it said that Derek Carr announced his retirement. I'm like, wow, okay. And then everybody, including you, dog, everybody went live. Everybody and their mama and their daddy went live.
Right. No, I was actually working on that new intro that you guys just saw when they broke. And
yeah,
I was watching. I had my television on CBS HQ, and it was breaking news: Derek Carr retires. I was like, hold on, and so I immediately went to see if Nick and Ross reported anything on it to make sure, because I go to the home team first. Yeah, and when they said I saw it there, I was like, I got to go on. I knew everybody was coming on, but I had to come on and talk. Man. All right, Jay, what's your thoughts, J Rock?
What up, J Rock?
First off, I'd like to say, what up, dog? OG Jerry, what's happening?
What up, J Rock?
Who that daddy? Come on in. Kenyatta Secret, come on in. He was overrated.
Who that? Man? I know you're happy. I know y'all happy.
My sister here, T-Mama. How you doing, baby? Come on in.
T-Mama.
Right. Talk to me.
What's up?
Man, first off, this was the one thing that I did not expect. Mm-hmm. I've heard talk about him possibly maybe trying to come back, possibly a trade, the post-June first cut. Those were like the 3 biggest things that everybody was talking about. Retirement was never in the equation, was never in the discussion. And just like what Jerry just said, he heard it in the chat. And he's like, wait, what?
I'm like, huh?
And he had to go in and try to see who else was saying the same thing. I looked up, I was like, wait, huh? he retired. And then, you know, shout out to Trizzy Traits on Chat Sports. He said, breaking news, massive. Derek Carr's retired. I'm like, what? I'm like, hold on. I'm like, okay. We are in May. We are not in this. Not April Fools, because we are in May. So, that's not it. So now I'm like, I was literally in shock. I did not. This the one thing I did not see come. I did not conceive this at all.
Nobody saw it coming.
Right, and the good thing is, like, the money wise, I mean, the Saints now do not have to pay that $30 million that he was guaranteed for injury.
And that was going to be my next question to you, Dolph.
Right.
What's the money situation going to be now that this happened?
Right. Yeah, Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football reported that the Saints were still owe him the $10 million. Hold on, let me go back to it. But before I get to that, I'm gonna get to that. But I want to play former New Orleans Saints quarterback Chase Daniels as he just on X gave his thoughts about the retirement of Derek Carr. Let's check it out, fam.
All right, a couple thoughts about Derek Carr's retirement. First of all, one of the most underrated players, I think, of our era. I think he played really, really well. Congrats on the career. But for the Saints, Tyler Shuck, day one starter. You have to start him day one. You drafted him in the second round. He's going to have some growing pains, but I think eventually he'll be successful. Some of the best footwork I've seen in a draft in quite some time. Kellen Moore will get the best out of him. The main thing, though, I don't think this takes the Saints out of the 2026 first round for a quarterback. I think that draft is loaded. I think they're squarely setting their eyes on this. I think if Tyler Shuck even remotely struggles at all, they're going to be in the running. Arch Manning, Drew Aller, Sellers, Garrett Nussmeier. The class is crazy talented. Remember, Garrett Nussmeier, is the son of current offensive coordinator Doug Nussmeier. So could you see a reunion there? I think the Saints are squarely in the quarterback conversation for the next year. I wish Derek Carr the best in retirement.
All right, family. So there you have it from Chase Daniels. His thoughts. Chase says, hey, if Tyler Shuck struggles this season, look for the Saints to be in the mix next season for a quarterback. And that quarterback class, as you heard him bring, and listen, he threw Arch Manning's name in there. Arch may not even be in. I'm telling you, right. Matter of fact, if I was a betting man, I'm betting Arch won't even be in that class. And that's still gonna be a better class, looked upon as a better class than this year's class. Yeah, I guarantee you, we see at least right now on May the 10th. I'm saying this, I guarantee you next year we see at least 3 quarterbacks drafted in the first round in that draft next year. Now I'm not saying where they gonna go. We know one go be the first one overall. It just a matter of who's that team picking at number 1. But,
hey, dog.
Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question. What what Arch Manning in right now? Is he a sophomore or junior or a senior?
He's this gonna be his what? Sophomore season going into the junior.
I think it is sophomore.
Yeah.
It is sophomore?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because he set last year. And and wasn't he there the year before?
I think he was.
I think
he
so.
didn't redshirt a year.
He redshirted a year. So he's redshirt. So he's really like he's gonna be like a redshirt junior.
Yeah. Thank you, T Mama. Yeah,
he's gonna be a redshirt junior this year. Uneducated Sports Talk. Shout out to my brother Carlos and PJ, part of the Come On In Sports Network. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split. Hey, Carlos, if you got a second, just jump on, man. I know you can't stay long. Just jump on. You got a second, man.
Yeah.
All right.
5 minutes. Just need your opinion, Carlos.
T Mama say I'm working, so I'll be on. All right, T Mama.
Hey. Do what you gotta do, T Mama. We understand. We love you.
Daddy says I'm with Big Sean. Hold on, what Big Sean said? I think.
Wow, dog, looking at that. Shout out to all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yeah,
y'all have a blessed one.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's true about Rattler, bro. I say that too, man. Rattler, he proved that he'll stand in that pocket. He'll take one. He'll take a licking to keep ticking. That I'm telling you, he'll stand in there deliver that ball.
Don't know.
You know, and that's the one thing. Thank you, Ro. A red shirt sophomore. Thank you, Ro. So
that's what I thought.
Ro.
So really, he's a junior, but he's a red shirt sophomore. So.
Yeah. So he's probably gonna be up there for a couple of years, I believe.
But y'all know how the man is, man. They bought all 4 years, bro. And think about it, he don't need the bread,
fast, bro.
He don't need the money. The money gonna be there. And if he does come out, and if he doesn't come out this upcoming season in 2026, we all know 2027 he's gonna be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, unless he just have a terrible damn season. But I doubt that.
Yeah,
the kid can play. All right, my guy from the Browns, Casey Kinnaman. Loomis should get Andrew Berry on the phone to get Kenny Pickett, who just spent the last season with Kellen Moore in Philly.
Oh yeah,
man, Casey
Pickett was up there with him. I remember.
Thank you for being Casey. Why I got you in the chat, man? Man, why pass on Sanders in the 3rd and then still come back and take him in the 5th? What was there any reasoning behind that? What is your thoughts about that? All right. Yes, happy Mother's Day, man, to my beautiful wife, my mother, my sisters, my aunties, my cousins,
all moms out
my
there,
friends, everybody, man. Happy Mother's Day.
Love you all.
It's your weekend, not just Sunday. It's your weekend. You know, enjoy your weekend. I started yesterday, surprise my wife with a little gourmet meal. Had it ready for it. You got to do things like that, you know. I'm learning, the boy dog still learning, But
what you gotta do, dog. That's life, bro.
Marlon Mall said give Devin Neal number 4. Bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
That might not be a bad idea.
Hey, I'm telling
y'all. That might
not
be a bad idea.
I'm telling y'all right now. I'm gonna keep saying it. Devin, if you're listening, I gotta get you on the show, but forget that. If you're listening, get your ass in that playbook, know what you're doing when they call your number, and when you get your opportunity, play up to your capabilities, handle your business, and I guarantee you, you will make this team. And I guarantee you, you love the city, baby. City gonna love you back, baby. That's all I want to do. But Mo,
there cars out the door. Take that phone.
Oh, you got to be able to do one thing, baby. You got to put that hat. You got to step up.
Yes,
when that blitzing linebacker, that blitzing cone, and that blitzing safety coming, you got to be a man. You got to man up in that pad protection. If you can do that, you on this team. And if you want to know how to do it, watch film on one of the best ever to do it. Former Heisman Trophy winner in New Orleans Saint. Second all the time leading Russia, Mark Ingram.
And real talk, dog.
Yeah.
Got some highlights of Devin Neal. That was definitely a steal right there, bro.
It was a steal.
Big time.
Man. He was over 1,000 yards the last 3 years, man. What I said I like about him is many people say he lasted that long because of his he didn't have that breakaway speed. So if he'd have ran like a 4.4, he wouldn't have been there. I think he ran like a 4.6 something, but there's football speed and then there's track speed, like I always say. When you turn on the tape, man, the kid's making plays, man.
Yeah, he's
shifty. He's quick. He has this little sneaky, it's kind of like a sneaky burst that he has. Like I said, he may not get you 80 to the house, but hell, he'll get you 55 or 60. Damn it, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I saw one of the games I saw Devin Neal play was when Kansas played Colorado. And in that game, when I say Devin Neal jumped off the screen, he jumped off the screen in that game, bro. They couldn't do nothing to this kid. I mean, I was like, damn, where did he come from?
Right.
And the fact when I heard that the Saints picked him up, I said, oh, damn.
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
they may have to steal the draft with this dude.
Yeah, he's nice, man.
Hey, J. Rock, look, and echoing what Dog was saying, after he got selected, You know, a shout out to the New Orleans Saints YouTube channel. I checked out the highlight. Oh my God, that dude is no joke, bro. Not only in the running game, but also in the passing game as well. But he can catch them passes, man. He don't have no drops, as I heard.
Man, he's unreal. He's not, and like Dawg said, he doesn't have like the 4.3, 4.2, 40 speed, but he's got the power when he needs it, and he can break away when he has to.
Right, exactly. He can break away when he has to. Ro, to answer your question on do you see Kelvin Banks at left guard? I will hold Kelvin Banks at left tackle or right tackle. Let me say that. Tackle. I don't want to see him inside. Put him either at left tackle, move Tolly back to right tackle. All right. I'm not putting Penny. I know everybody say put Penny. That's what they choose to do. Penny might turn out to be a good guard. But personally, I'm leaving Penny as my swing tackle. Now, there have been reports that I believe it was the Dolphins. Now, I don't know if that was credible because I kind of glanced at it. We're interested in Trevor Penny. But why trade Penny? What do you have in backups right now in tackles? I for one, was not a fan of them re-signing Landon Young. Now, let me just say that the reason was because I knew Landon Young was a late-round selection, but I thought I saw him play at Kentucky. He was a 4-5-star recruit when he came into college. He played in the SEC, acquitted himself well. I thought that he would be better in the National Football League, and it just hasn't worked out for him with the Saints. Highly inconsistent and bad play and injuries. So I wasn't a fan of that. And I'm telling you right now, Penny is a better football player than Landon Young to me. Now, I may be in the minority with that, but I think that the Saints right now, without a proven asset as your swing tackle, think about Zach Strief before he started. Remember, he was backing up Stencom. He was the swing tackle. So that's what I say. I say leave Penny as the swing tackle. You let hopefully Nick Solderberry can stay healthy and finally develop. We went out. We seen Rod. We signed up. Rod. Pronounce the kid's name. The young man we got from the Titans, y'all. Pronounce his name for me. Rod. What's his name? Rayton. Rudo. I don't want to mess the kid's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. We got that young man, and like I always say, there will be no Lemieux over there. There will be no Ali Udo or Ali No. Oh no, he's gone.
If y'all know, put it in the chat.
So more definitely, I think it's let me look up his name. I keep Banks at left tackle. He's highly decorated. He was one of the best offensive linemen, best football players in this draft. He went up against high caliber competition. Since he walked on campus at Texas, he's been that dude. Athletic, can get out in space, have some balance. Like when he comes to the second level.
I think his name is Dylan Ray.
Dylan. Yeah. Dylan Rayons.
Radunz.
Yeah, Dylan Rayons. I believe that's the word. But Dylan, so you got Dylan and Nick Solderberry. They're going to be battling for that starting left guard, and who knows, maybe another. We tripping. I'm tripping. Apologies to Will Clapp. So Will Clapp, your left guard right now, because Will Clapp, Dylan, Nick Solderberry. To me, this is a very important training camp for Nick Solderberry. This is not the team this is not the staff that brought you in, bro.
And I think with Will Clapp being there, I think if nothing else, that at least gives you that chemistry.
Ren does, okay.
That he has up in there that really could help. If nothing else, at least you got that with Will Clapp.
Right. And we got the backup center in Will Clapp that we needed.
Right.
He's that backup center. So long as Will stays healthy, we know Will's on. So that's 6 right there. Well, that's 5. You count Dylan 6 and Penny 7. I mean, maybe they keep 8 offensive linemen. But the big news of the day, family, Derek Carr has called it quits. He has announced his retirement for the National Football League. It will be official on June the 1st. Again, Derek Carr no longer a member of the New Orleans Saints or any team.
Hallelujah.
As he has announced that he will be retiring from the National Football League. And as you can see from Jerry, some Saints fans are out of their mind with enthusiasm that this young man has called it a career, man.
Yeah, man.
Man. So we shall see. What are we doing? All right, hold on.
Because to be real, Dolph, because when I was looking at Ross on Friday talking about him starting week 1, if he was healthy, which he's not, I had a reaction on my face. I'm like, are you serious? And then a few hours later, this morning, Saturday morning, May 10th, 2025, he announced his retirement. I'm like, wait a minute. Really?
Yeah.
I said, okay.
All right, family. Let me share this with you, family. This is Nick going live from the Saints mini camp. He just shared this. Let me get that up on the screen for you. Let's hear what Nick had to say. Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football. We know the great work Nick and them does. Let me get that volume going on for you.
The Saints are going to be able to move forward.
All right.
Hey, what's up, guys, out here at the Saints for today's rookie camp? And obviously the big news of the day is that Derek Carr is retiring. Kind of comes out of nowhere. Didn't see this one coming. And that brings an end to his tenure with the Saints. Now, there's going to be a lot said and a lot thought about how that era went. But the important thing now is that it is over, and the Saints are going to be able to move forward knowing that Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler is going to be their quarterback 1 next year. We're about to get our first look at Shuck out here at practice at rookie camp. And it takes on a whole different meaning knowing that this has come to a conclusion. And I think it's probably the best way that it could have ended. The Saints aren't going to have to pay out all that money from the restructure. Derek Carr is going to walk away with about $10 million from his roster bonus. The Saints will get the $30 million back on June 2nd. Carr retires, and whatever money is left, and it's still a significant amount, it gets split over 2 years. But now that creates some cap relief. And if the team wants to go out and sign some other players, they can do that now. And there's still some guys out there that I think could help this team. There's some wide receivers out there. There's some cornerbacks out there. Those are both positions of need for this team, I think. And now the Saints can afford to make a move if they want, or they can just continue to lean all the way into this youth movement and keep going forward with the rebuild. But the deck is now cleared with this situation put to bed. So I think it's a win-win for both sides. Derek Carr walks away. The Saints don't have to pay him too much money. And now the team can start over.
All right. Shout out and thanks for Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football, and all the great work they do in covering the New Orleans Saints. And there you have it. Nick just gave it to you. Derek walks away with $10 million. Saints don't have to pay him that $30 million. Again, it's still going to be that dead money. Now, the dead money, let me share that. Let's get that on there. So the dead money is going to be about just under $60 million right here. The dead money like 80. The dead money is going to be like 80. So they can split that over 2 seasons. If I'm reading that right, 25. So the dead money is 80. Cap savings is 15. It's still in the red, so they really don't say it. So it's going to be like 60 million. So they can split that up into 2 seasons and pay that to pay that off for Derek Carr. There it is right there. As you can see, the dead money, that's the dead money right there. Now the key is remember this here says pre-June 1st, but remember Nick said after June 1st. So it should be about this. It should be about that 60 million. So that'll be about 30 million over 2 seasons. And I believe I'm right about that, family. If not, hey, I'll come back and I'll correct it. All right. T Mama said, I would love to subscribe for all your hard work, but I'm playing a lot of catch up. My heel back in October. Oh, sorry to hear that, baby.
Yeah.
Oh man, just you subscribe to the channel here. You good? Just subscribe here and come on the Sports Network. I don't worry about that membership and all that. This is my family. Hey, family, we right here. We chilling, baby.
Mm-hmm. I got a quick question.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking about now what Jerry said earlier about what Ross was talking about, because Ross had a video out saying that starter week 1 question in regards to Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
This was just about a day. This was just about a day or two ago. So
yeah,
I'm glad there's a resolution that happened. But what's confusing me is we're talking about from being potential post-1 June starter to retirement. That's two polar opposites.
Right. Nobody saw that come.
What happened in the middle?
Yeah, it was reported by ESPN. It was just reported that he had all intentions on being ready to go week 1. Wanted to be the starting quarterback in week 1 for the Saints, and now it comes today, and he announces his retirement from the National Football League. So again, a lot of confusing information that was going out, but we know that now. You saw it on the Saints site. It's official from the New Orleans Saints, so it's official. Who that nation? Derek Carr will be retiring. You got it from Nick Underhill. Nick just said it. So hey, that's a done deal. We know that Nick doesn't report nothing that's not so. So
yeah, shout out to Nick.
Man, shout out to Nick. All the great work that they do over there at New Orleans football. Again, he's already there out at Saints mini camp. And like I said, and then you hear Nick come and just kind of back up what I was saying. Now, all those passes today at rookie minicamp from Tyler Shuck, they get what? They are under a microscope right now. Fans want to know everything. If a ball was off by 10, if it was too low, if it was too high, or if it was too wide outside, or he didn't lead the receiver, or he threw it too behind the receiver. They want to know all that. Now, the one thing from studying the film on Tyler Shuck that he's going to have to work on, it was stated earlier in the chat. Spencer Rattler stands in that pocket. Tyler at times gets happy feet when he's under pressure in the pocket. That's what he's going to have to improve on. He's going to have to learn how to. Sometimes you're going to have to stand in there and deliver that ball to get to reap the rewards. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to take that hit to get that ball where it needs to go for that big first down, on that game-winning drive, that game-winning touchdown. You're going to have to stand in there. Now, thinking about it when watching film, my mind went to, I was wondering in some of the game footage I was watching, could it be a person that was kind of because of the injuries that he had, if that at times plays into his mind and he was trying to like protect himself or like, damn, I don't want to get hurt again, like that. Again, that game that everybody saw against Stanford when he just rolled to the right and he didn't look where he was throwing the ball. He just, damn it, he didn't want to get hit. That's all you can give. That's all I get from that. He could have threw the ball out of bounds. He didn't do that. The defender was closing in, and he just underhand the thing and just threw the ball up for grabs. Can't do that.
Yeah, I saw that when that happened. I was like,
yeah.
What in the hell is he doing? I was like, is he having a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar skyhook flashback when he threw that? Because I'm like, that's the only thing I'm looking. I'm like, you just totally just threw that up in the air for grabs. I'm like, man, you cannot do that when you're coming up in the league like that.
Right. Hold it down for a minute. I'll be right back.
And like I said before, it is just absolutely a stunner for me in regards to the retirement of Derek Carr. This is just something that, I mean, I had the checklist I had earlier. This was not on it. This was absolutely not on it. Now I'm sitting here thinking about the possibilities. Now, one other thing that really kind of caught my attention is was picking Tyler Shook a contingency plan? Just in case things didn't work out, you got 2026 as your contingency plan. Because the age thing, people like to play on the age thing. It could be a factor, but it'd be very interesting to see how that actually comes about, how he looks, how he goes forward within mini camp, the open practices. Then now you're going into the preseason, then regular season. Now, I guess the one question that's in my mind, and anybody in the chat, tell me if you feel the same way. Does Spencer Rattler have a legitimate shot to win that number one spot? That's the one thing I'm thinking about and I'm wondering about. Like what Dolph had mentioned earlier, they said that Tyler Shook was handpicked by Kellen Moore. So when you handpick, that means you're getting a certain amount of favor above the next man. So I do believe that Spencer Rattler, if he wants his job, Spencer Rattler gonna have to ball out of control. He's gonna have to do that. He's gonna have to ball out of control. He's gonna have to leave no doubt that he is the guy. My only other concern about it is if it's close or if it's even, Tyler Shook is going to get the nod.
Exactly.
Now, Dolph, kind of comment on what I just said. I don't know if you caught everything I said.
No, go ahead, repeat. I ain't catch it. I just caught the end of it, what you were saying.
Okay. I was saying one of the questions I had in my mind was, and I posted to the chat, does Spencer Rattler have a legitimate shot to win the starting job? Because if you look at it, like you mentioned, Tyler Shook was handpicked by Kellen Moore. So if it's being handpicked, that means there's a certain amount of favor that goes into you being handpicked.
Right.
And I was saying that Spencer Rattler has to leave no doubt. He has the ball out of control to be like, you know what? That's him without question.
Right.
But if it's a situation that if it's close or if it's even, the nod is going to probably go to Tyler Shook.
Yes, it's gonna go to Tyler. If it's close, it's going to Tyler. That's why it have to be like Spencer will have to totally outplay Tyler, in my opinion, for him to be given that nod because of Tyler being a handpicked quarterback by current and new head coach Kellen Moore. Let's see. T Mama say we will see unlike the J Rock. Who that daddy says J Rock, it should be a fair competition. I hope it's fair, man. I hope it's a fair competition and just let the best player win, man. You know what I'm saying? But like when Lawrence was on, like he was saying, and like I'm saying, man, I hope we got two young future franchise quarterbacks. You know, because your starter's only your backup's only an injury away from being your starter. And like I said, family, who do you want as your backup? Would it be Tyler Shook, Jake Haener, Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener? I'm just saying. Let me see. You got to read that. Hold on. You got to read that correctly, Dolph. All right, hold on. Let me see. You know, we will see. Unlike DA, we knew
Rattler was gonna beat out.
We knew Spencer Rattler beat out Jake Haener. Okay, gotcha. Okay, we will see. Unlike DA, we knew Spencer Rattler beat out Jake Haener. Gotcha. Okay.
Now that was interesting because that's an interesting point because as we know, when that competition came out for the backup spot behind Carr, everybody in the Who Dat Nation pretty much was like, you know, Spencer actually won that hands down. In the eyes of DA turned around and gave Haener the nod. Now, shout out to TJ on State of the Saints when he brought up this point when he said that he believed that he started Haener because he didn't want the threat of Spencer Rattler behind Derek Carr and affect Carr's ability to possibly come back and Rattler winning over winning over the fan base and claiming for
locker
him
room,
that
right.
starting job.
Right. But last year we were getting reports from about how players were impressed with what Rattler was doing. So I mean, again, it came down to that head coach, and that was a great point that CJ made. T Mama says, I'm not sure this organization knew DC was retiring. You're not wrong, because Nick said it's a total shock. No one saw this coming, but it works out in favor for the New Orleans Saints. Yeah. It works out in favor for him. Now they don't have to pay him that $30 million. He is still owed that significant, about $60 million. They can split that over the next 2 years. And like Nick said, there's still needs for this team. They can now go out and they can bring players in. They just signed their rookie class. I don't know if over the track it's updated yet, but they have the Saints at $27 million in cap space currently. So that should be changed in the next few days or so with when that money, but it'll be June the 2nd when Carr will file his papers for retirement. So look for something on June the 2nd. Everything should be updated, and we'll see the new holders of the Saints.
Yeah, well, and you got to keep in mind, like you said, Nick Underhill didn't even see that coming, and Nick is in the middle of everything, and he didn't see this coming. So my only question now is, what's the salary cap going to look like now when that June 2nd comes around? Because like you said, it's about $27 million now. What does it go to after that?
Well, I don't think it updated, because I think it takes like about $10 million to sign your rookie class. So they should be like just around, let's just say $17 million. Mm-hmm. So if that $30 million is added to that 17, that's damn near $50 million they got to work with. Yeah, and then you got to realize they don't have to use that money this year. If they don't want, they can take that money and put it towards next year's cap. You know.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to look at all the undrafted free agents that the Saints got. Did they get any backup offensive linemen potentially also in the UDFA or?
Let's go. Let's go to that. Because I haven't really dived into it either. I know there's a couple of linemen. There was a linebacker that everyone was very high on. All right, let's see.
Now, who that daddy said, according to him, he said, look like the cap should be possibly around $37 million.
Okay, 37. So about 37. So if we're at 27, 10 to sign your draft class, that leaves 17. On the second, if they get that 30 million back, that should be like 47.
That'll be 47.
Yeah, that'll be like 47. Let me see.
Unless he's subtracting the 10 million from that at that point, from what the Saints given Derek Carr, and that's how you probably 37 maybe.
So I know Marcus Yarns, the running back from Delaware, a kid to keep an eye on. And you were saying big guy. Oh, this Edge kid, Elliot Davidson. Heard Ross talking about him from University of Texas San Antonio, and also Jasheen Davis. Ross spoke about him yesterday. Edge rusher from Wake Forest. They also from South Carolina, interior offensive line. He's a guard. They got Terceli Simpkins from South Carolina. I'm excited to see Moochie Dixon, the receiver from SMU. Easton Kilty, offensive lineman from Kansas State. That was a week ago on that one. Let me see the most recent one. Let's see. Pull this up for you guys. Yep, that's about the most recent one. Yeah, that's it. That's the most recent one that I'm finding. So yeah, that's it right there, Rock. So the running back Yawns, the kid. So Yawns, the running back from Delaware. And listen, don't count off James Burton, the punter from Alabama, that the Saints signed. Because there's no lock on that punter position. Our special teams really wasn't nothing to write home about last year. Defensive tackle Amari Thomas from Tennessee. Defensive back Dallas Beanham, South Dakota State. He has 12 career intercepts. Let's see. They gave Jasheen Davis, they gave him $30,000 guaranteed. Let me see. That money, that guaranteed money to undrafted free agents, tell you what they think about him. So he's one to keep an eye on with an opportunity. But again, like I said, if you're an undrafted free agent, man, there's no place you'd rather come than the New Orleans Saints. Because one thing the Saints will give you opportunity to do is make the team, whether you're an undrafted free agent or not. If you're an undrafted free agent, I'm telling my agent, man, how New Orleans looking? They got anything open. You know?
I'm looking at I pulled up some of the UDFA lists I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at this guy, Dallas Beanham, 6'1", 200-pound corner from South Dakota State.
Yeah.
He got some good size on him and said he actually had like 12 interceptions, 34 pass breakup, forced a couple of fumbles, had 12 career interceptions, third in program history. Okay. Yeah. He was a consistent FCS second team All-American, recording 46 tackles and 1 interception, 4 pass breakups, and a fumble. You know what? Sometimes those small school guys, especially FCS, they got talent. They're a little bit hungrier because they got like a bigger chip on their shoulder and they got more to prove when they come in.
Right. Yeah. Let's see what Draft Scout says on them. Oh my God. Let's see. He's third all time in school history. In intercepts, he had 12 intercepts, third all time in school history. He brought 3 back for touchdowns. He had season high in tackles in 2024. Let me see what else they got on. Like you said, 6'1", 200 pounds. They say if he played for the Saints, most likely he'll be a slot player. He's a good tackler with size, but not breakaway speed. And we know the Saints definitely can use help at the corner position. And so, I mean, just thinking about some of these reports, like in late March, it was what Derek Carr had, while ramping up for preparation, he experienced pain in his right shoulder. It was his first time throwing a football at significant volume since recovering from both a concussion and left hand issues. And that was reported by New Orleans, Canal Street Chronicles. So, well, the Sale family, the ship is there. It is official. The Saints are in full rebuild now. It is a new dawn of Saints football. So get ready for it. The quarterback competition, the battle is on in the Big Easy, baby. It is on. Who will be the man? Will it be Spencer Rattler? Will it be Tyler Shough? We shall see. But some think that this doesn't take the Saints out of consideration for a quarterback in the first round next year, depending how these two young men perform this upcoming season.
And that's exactly what Chase Daniel said in that video that you played.
Yeah, that's exactly the person words I'm speaking of. Chase Daniel said. So, and look, he said he loves the footwork that Tyler Shuck has. You know, there's no throw. Like I said, Tyler Shuck is your prototypical NFL quarterback. He's what every team is looking for. He's got the height, 6'5". He's about 220 pounds. He's got a very strong arm. He can make every throw on the field. The games against Miami and Notre Dame, man, he threw some passes, man. Let me see if I get that up. See if I got that for you guys. Day 3. Let's see. Video file. Let me see. Tyler Shuck.
Yeah. You know what?
Go ahead.
I just had another thought.
Mm-hmm.
Is this competition the only competition that Tyler Shuck would face for the starting job? I'm talking about as far as a mental standpoint. And what I mean by mental standpoint is this: Chase Daniels already kind of opened up the door to the possibility of 2026. Now, what really caught my attention, I didn't think about it, but now it's really starting to be a big the big point of emphasis when it comes to me. Garrett Nussmeier is in that quarterback class, with Doug Nussmeier being the father and offensive coordinator. So if Shook struggles, the possibility of Garrett possibly coming down and being in that job, knowing that his dad coached him too, now all of a sudden it's almost like I'm battling Spencer Rattler, but it's almost like I gotta fight almost a ghost that's not there, but at the same time, I have to acknowledge it because it's a possibility at the same time.
Right.
So it's almost kind of like a double-edged sword, kind of like a little bit more added pressure, even though it's not there.
Right.
Something that could be on the horizon.
Yeah, we may have, man, a lot of people listen, Louis Riddick loves Tyler Shuck. He thinks the Saints hit it out the park by selecting him. Matter of fact, let's do a quick. Let's look at this. This is him against Notre Dame, family. All right, good raw again. How he stands in the pocket. Now watch this throw here. Look at that. Great ball placement. I'm gonna go back. Let you see that. Roll out, throw back. On his receiver can get. Watch his footwork. Now stop. This is where I want to stop. This is the most underrated part of his game, family. Again, the NFL non-quarterbacks, we're used to what? Mobile quarterbacks able to get out of the pocket, make something out of nothing. Tyler Shuck is able to do that. We saw last year. Spencer Rattler is able to do that. This is Tyler Shuck against Notre Dame. Watch this. Remember, he ran a 4.64 at the NFL Combine. Look at this. Now, of course, at the end, he got to do what? You got to protect that ball at the end. You got to protect that ball at the end. But listen, the kid's athletic. He's more athletic, family, than people give him credit for. Here we go. Watch. Let's watch. Man. So RPOs is in the Saints offense with him and Spencer. You can run RPOs with them. Okay, let's watch him here. Bam. Look at that throw. Good throw. Now, I'm going to go back. The thing I want, let's watch his footwork on this. Bam. Back foot hit. Ball ready. Hips. Now watch him. Transfer that power to that front leg. Bam. Accurate throw. Right? Here's this one. Now, that's the problem right there. That's the problem right there. This is the problem. Here it comes. Here comes the problem right here. I'm going to stop it. Right there. Pressure. All right. This is the thing. This was a scary pass that he threw. Watch this.
Yep.
Now, actually, the damn ball went through his receiver's hand. I didn't notice that before when I watched it. Let's rewind that. So you got a free blitzer coming. He rolls out. Now look at this. Easy throw. Again, he can make every throw on the field. He stepped up in the pocket there. That's on the receiver. Down the sidelines. Good ball placement. So when I'm looking at, let's look at his feet in the pocket. Look at his demeanor. That time he stood in there. Let me rewind that. I think it was after this. Should be coming up. All right. It's breaking down. Now, see, he's standing in there. What he does have a tendency to do sometimes when under pressure, even sometimes he kind of thinks he's under pressure or he just does it. He throws off his back foot. That's just pressure there. Play action. Look at that there, though. That's what he can do. Look how he just ripped that thing. Like I said, picture him throwing that ball to Jawan Johnson, hitting Rashid up the seam. Brandon Cooks, Bud Means. Look at that. Just ripped that thing. Here he comes. Let's watch him here. Back. Look at this placement. That's the special thing about him right there. Look at that ball placement. Let's rewind it. All right, clean pocket. You can look at his form in the pocket. He's identified the one-on-one coverage where he wants to go. That back foot's about to touch. Bam, transfer. And look at the accuracy of this ball. Look what that ball is. Defender has no chance to get that.
Mm-hmm.
Hell of a effort by the receiver too. I mean, that's a hell of a catch.
I mean, you literally came down with it with one hand, and the thing about that throw is either his receiver is going to get it or nobody's going to get it.
Now, here's one I like too. Now, this is about throwing from different platforms. Watch him here. He's going to roll out to his left. Roll out. Now, look how he got his hips around, got square. Look, he's off the ground delivering this ball. Now, watch that. Accurate pass. Let's go back and look at that again. Look at that. Different arm angles he can throw. Look at that. Wow. Look at that throw. The kid has some talent. He has talent. The big knock everybody is knocking him on is his age, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's his age and his injury history.
Right.
Now, some people have brought up the point about, okay, and I've heard this on a couple of other platforms and people saying like, all right, well, you got a quarterback who's slightly older, 25, knocking 26, that's got the injury history that he's had, and you're going to bring him with a team that had a lot of other injuries in this past offseason, the way things have been looking, that's kind of a recipe for disaster. That's the kind of statement that's been kind of floated around in different social circles in regards to that, which a lot of people would be considered a major concern.
But why? Spencer Rattler's 25.
Right. I don't think it's as far as the age. I think it's the fact about the injury history of Shook going along with a team that had a lot of injuries anyway.
Right. So the injury. Let's go to his injury history. He had the shoulder at Texas Tech. He injured, but he didn't have surgery. Came back the following season and injured that same shoulder, the one he didn't have surgery on. Did not have problems with the shoulder, anything since then. Then he goes to Then at Texas Tech, he's finally getting his start, and he has that freak when he breaks his fibula. When I was watching it, it really was no contact on him. He was actually in the pocket, and his shit just snapped. So the kid's dealt with adversity. He's dealt with a lot in his young career. Mom having cancer, losing a brother. he's here. He realized the NFL dream, and now he has an opportunity to be the man. It's just that simple. But he's gonna have to go out there and earn it. He's gonna have to go out there and earn it. And hey, he might be the backup. Spencer might win this thing. Real talk. I know everybody. Well, Spencer was a 5th round pick. All right.
Yeah, Spencer was a 5th round pick.
But we saw Spencer last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. And don't forget the circumstances that he was out, that he was thrust out in the field with.
Right.
It wasn't an ideal situation for Spencer Rattler.
Right. And see, that was one of the things I've always said in different areas and different platforms. Everybody say, well, Spencer Rattler, he hadn't won a game since he'd been a starter, this, that, and the third. I'm like, hell, you probably wouldn't win a game as a starter either, with over half your offensive line out, two of your top wide receiving targets out, Alvin Kamara missing significant time. Oh, by the way, you also had Taysom Hill out with an ACL.
Right.
And then to top it all off,
right,
you wound up having to have wide receivers that were either coming off the practice squad, basically off the street. And I don't care what nobody say, I'm still scratching my head to this day. Why did you let MVS walk out the door? Because MVS, when he jumped on that field,
he wanted to leave. He wanted to go with Kubiak.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's why he's in Seattle with Kubiak right now.
Okay. Well, that makes sense because I know he went to Seattle, but I was like,
yeah, Kubiak.
When MVS stood on that field, MVS was he was making some plays. He was doing some things when he was out there. I was like, shh.
All right. Now watch this throw by Tyler. Watch this throw in the back of his end zone. Watch this. There are some things that are just undeniable, fam. The key. Listen, look at that. I love this bag. Look at that. I love this one. Look where that ball is coming in at. Look at that. Look where it drops in at. That's the kid's talent. He's talented. Spencer's talented. Let's see. I love it. We finally got it, baby. The rebuild is here. The new era of Saints football is here, family. It's going to come down to Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, and maybe I'm looking for the Saints family to go out and bring in a veteran quarterback. I just think you need to bring in a veteran. You can't have a rookie and a second-year quarterback or a third-year young quarterback in itself and Jake Haener as your quarterback room. I think they're going to bring in a veteran, like I said. Former Philadelphia, Carson Wentz is still out there. Yep. To me, he'll be the best person to bring in. So, but I don't know. Maybe the Saints see somebody else that they'll want to bring in. And of course, when you get in the training camp and stuff, you get these cut down dates. You get players being cut for money reasons. You never know who will come on the market. But hopefully, the Saints will not need that person to come in and be the starter or the backup, but just be that veteran leadership for that young quarterback room. Hopefully Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck can all give us a summer to remember and a season to remember by going out and becoming that franchise quarterback. The search is now officially on. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck now get their opportunity to become the franchise quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. They will battle it out this summer. Every throw will now be highly anticipated and highly evaluated by Who Dat Nation, by those who cover the team, by the coaches, and most importantly, by their teammates in their locker room.
Now, you brought up the fact about getting a veteran quarterback in that QB room, obviously, and I agree with you. The fact that you can't just have a second-year quarterback and a rookie, and that's pretty much be the crux of your QB room. You mentioned Carson Wentz up in there number one. Now, I saw the list of the free agent quarterbacks is still out there. Now, Teddy Bridgewater is still out there too. Now
TB want to play though. That's the thing.
That's the question. If you can get Teddy Bridgewater back up in there, I really think that would be a really good signing too, for the simple fact Teddy Bridgewater knows the culture of New Orleans. He knows the team, even though it's a new regime, but he knows the key guys in that locker room. And every single guy in that locker room that's played with Teddy Bridgewater respects him and values him. And having that kind of guy in that quarterback room with that kind of young QB, with those young QBs up in there, I think not just on the field, but off of it would be very, very valuable if you bring Teddy back.
Right. Steel Bill says injury history, and he came on of nowhere. Didn't hear about him until right before the draft. I saw a couple Louisville games, just going through the channels, and I forgot who they was playing, but I watched a little, like a half of it, and I was like, man, that kid's he's pretty good. That quarterback they got. And as I went to the Senior Bowl and was able to see him go through the drills and go through the Senior Bowl practices, and he was voted by these players as the best quarterback at the Senior Bowl. There's something that this kid. Again, you saw from the film, he can make every throw on the field. Has a very good he has a live arm. He can get these balls in the tight windows. Has escapability, has the ability to get out the pocket and pick up yards with his legs. Again, things he's going to have to work on is his pocket presence, as far as standing in the pocket in the face of a blitz, or oncoming rusher. And sometimes you just got to stand in there. You got to deliver that ball. You go get hit regardless. You got to deliver that ball. That's something he's going to work. He needs to work on. And sometimes he has the tendency just to throw off his back foot or falling back for no reason. So that I'm sure that's some things that Coach Tozine and Coach Moore they're going to work with him on. And as for Spencer Rattler, at times he has to get better against the blitz, because remember, Tampa Bay blitzed the hell out of him. Then everybody started doing it. That's where he struggled the most. So he's going to have to he was standing in the pocket, but he's going to have to get better when facing the blitz and understanding where it's coming from, understanding, hey, I got to get the ball out quick where it needs to go. But both of these young men need to understand this, that punting the ball ain't bad.
Right.
Taking a sack and punting ain't bad. Do not try anything unnecessary. Do not be loosey-goosey with the football. Protect that football at all costs. Again, we can say what we want about Derek Carr's tenure here. The man only threw 13 interceptions.
Right.
And 40 touchdowns.
And one thing we can't forget about in regards to Spencer Rattler, let's not forget Spencer Rattler was a highly touted prospect in college, even during the 2019-2020. Spencer Rattler was looked at as a first round talent, maybe second round at worst at one point. He was looked at as that kind of talent. Obviously, Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma, went to SC. Caleb Williams wanted a starting job. He took Caleb Williams with him. He goes from Oklahoma to South Carolina. So then things kind of tailored, kind of went down and kind of tapered off for him a little bit. Especially South Carolina did not have such a really good offensive line that he was playing behind. So then there's that part of it. I think he's got that chip on his shoulder too. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this whole thing plays out, especially what's going to be expected with them. Because I think what's going to be really key also is the wide receivers that's going to be in there that they're going to be throwing to.
Right.
That's going to be really key, because that's the question. I'm trying to see how the free agency period still works going into the training camp. What wide receivers they're going to bring in that's going to help to that, and especially. You said it earlier, Dolph, about Bub Means.
Yeah.
Does Bub Means now turn the corner this year? That this is my opportunity to really shine, especially making a connection with a new quarterback, be it Shook or Rattler. Right.
And I think he he can throw all platform, man. He can throw from different arm angles, man. The kid has talent. Vernell says, out of one of these guys we have now and the Nussmeier kid, if these QBs don't pan out, he will then be a possibility. I really think out of those three options, we will find our QB of the future. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I hope it's this kid and Spencer Rattler. Yeah. I hope the Saints next year, the Saints don't have to go and be forced to draft a quarterback in the first round.
Vernell, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong at all. You might be spot. I think Vernell is spot on with this one. I really do.
About Nussmeier?
About one of these three being the possible future quarterback. Yeah, I think Vernell right on the money with this one.
Yeah, but the thing is, if let's say Gary Nussmeier goes out here and has a Heisman Trophy season, and the Saints don't have the first overall pick, they don't get Gary Nussmeier. You know what I'm saying? So again, it comes down to where you're drafting, your evaluation of the entire quarterback class. Because right now, the kid from Drew Aller from Penn State, he's looked at right now going to the season as probably your front runner for the Heisman. I mean, you got to look at him. So then Arch, everybody wants to throw Arch in there. But listen, we saw very spot duty from Arch last year. Once teams get film on you, not late in the season, middle of the season, that SEC schedule, when teams have film on Arch, we go see, baby. We go see. Things change. But yeah, Vernell, he, as far as Tyler Shuck, he can throw from different arm angles, man. The kid is special. I love Spencer Rattler since last year. I think there's something there. And execs around the NFL think it is too. So listen, family, this one, I've been on here 2 hours. That's because I'm talking to family. Love it. Listen, I got to get off here, but I want to thank you all for being here. Well, we were 60 strong. To all my family on X, thank you for joining us. Subscribe to the Come On In Sports Network. My Who That Nation, subscribe to the Keeping It Real Who That Sports Podcast. Matter of fact, let me get the link in the chat. If you're not subscribed and you like content like this, hey, come on over, join us, family. This is what we do over here. My co-host, Coach Rock, he was in here at the beginning. He's out at volleyball tournament with Nisi. So shout out to Coach, man.
Well, I appreciate you, Dom. Let me come on in. Especially being a pseudo co-host for you.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you and Jerry holding it down for me, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Here's the link. If you'd like to join the channel, subscribe. When I say join, I mean subscribe to the channel. There it is right there. Keeping it real. Also the Come On In Sports Network, which is home to uneducated sports talk, real fan sports. Atlanta Falcon Fandemic. Yeah, I know, family. I know. Come on in, Bills. Eagles Talk with TJ and the future home this coming football season of the Hit Zone, hosted by Mr. J Hits, and he covers America's team, those Dallas Cowboys. And also, family, every Sunday during the football season, we will have you covered from week 1 until throughout the Super Bowl as the #1 pregame show on all social media as the NFL returns this coming football season. Coach will be in the building. Carlos, TJ, PJ, Learns, Jeremy, Cowboy, Jay Hits, TJ, and yours truly. And most importantly, you. So turn down the sound on your TV. You done heard enough of them. Come on in. We have special guests coming on from around the league to give you their perspective of the teams which they cover. It's going to be a great season. Also, we have our website, the Come On In Sports Network. You can go over there, COISPN.com. Lawrence is our editor and writer. He writes a daily blog over there. We're going to be adding some more content. It's not a fancy site, but hey, It's the Come On In Sports Network, all
Lord
of our
Dolph.
podcasts. So we thank y'all for everything, family. And go ahead, Rock, before we get out of here.
Yeah, you know, Dolph. I saw you extend that invite to TJ on the as the NFL turns. I think that's definitely going to be a dope thing if he come on up.
Oh yeah, that's my bro, man. Like I said, man, TJ, man, he's a real one, man. Our brother's been there for me. If I have any questions, man, or need anything, he gives me advice. I mean, him, Big Q, Hoodie, man, Ross Jackson, man, Mr. Kyle T. Mosley. Man, I could go on and on, man. Cause there's so many people, man. I don't want to forget nobody, man. You know, but they all, man. I respect them all, man. I met Nick Underhill in person, man. I told him, man, you know, I respect what he does, man. And Nick is, he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. This whole community, man. Is great. I'm trying to get my guy on from Boot Crew, man. WDN chat line is back. Who that needs? Shout out to them. My boys over there, man. They're back, man. Coach Hoodie is back now. And Who That Nation, Derek Carr, no longer a member of the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr has decided to call it a career in the National Football League. He will still be paid $10 million roster bonus, but the Saints will recoup $30 million in guaranteed money for injury. They will get that back. Also, family, next, keep your notifications on because the Come On In Sports Network, we will be doing our own top 100 list for this coming season, but we're not going to do it individually. We're going to be breaking it down the top 10 at each position. So we even gonna do punters and kickers, but we're gonna just put them in one bag. So it'll be punters and kickers and strong safeties. That'll be our first episode. So we will be starting to work on that this week, and we'll let you know when that would be coming out again. So have your notifications set for that. And I'm also working on getting some guests on for us during this time, during the quiet part of the season before training camp kicks up. So with that being said, family, enjoy your day. And like always, love and who that. We out.